In this video, I want to share with you 5 different tips that you can or should consider before you apply for the Chase Inc. business credit card. I recently created a video introducing the Chase Inc. business credit card to you guys, and one of you had a question about the requirements. To be specific, I think that's pretty much what you asked. Yeah, what is the requirements for this business card? Well, I will pretty much answer that question in terms of kind of indirectly as I share with you these 5 tips that I believe if you have all 5 of these down, you should be good to go and you should be approved for this credit card. Of course, nothing I say is legal or financial advice, but educational and entertainment content only. Number 1 on my list is to get your EIN. You do not need to be a actual LLC or an S corp. A lot of these gurus out here, I say gurus, let me do that, gurus out here would make you believe that you have to have an S corp or an LLC or corporation, whatever. That's not true. You can actually go about it with a sole proprietorship. So if you are someone who's part of the gig economy, if you work with TaskRabbit, for example, well, if you have an EIN for your sole proprietorship, maybe you have a DBA, doing business as, well, you basically are in a position where you can get your EIN and you don't need an actual LLC. I have made a video talking about how you can get your EIN on one of my other channels. If I remember, I will post a link to it down below in the description area. So tip number 2 is to get a personal account with Chase. And, that's going to just help you start to establish a relationship with the bank. It's going to put a kind of little blimp on the radar and let them know you exist. And this is the easiest way to start to build that relationship and establish some kind of connection and let them see, okay, I'm someone, I make money, I have money, maybe it piques their interest. Where does this guy get this money from? He's a little baller over here. I want to know where he gets that money from, because they want our money, right? That's Chase's. That's what they after our money. Now, of course, they're here to help us with saving it and whatnot. But ultimately, it's because they wanna save it so they can lend it out to other people, which is why we want credit cards as well. Use other people's money, OPM. So I ain't hating one bit, because that's why we after these credit cards. So my tip number 3 is kind of off of number 2, which is to build up that business relationship with them. So the next step that you want to consider doing is getting a business bank account, and that can be a business checking and or business savings account. I actually have both, and these are literally the tips that the process that I went about before I applied. I had actually applied for a Chase credit card like years ago with my sole proprietorship, but I don't even know if I was like established for like a month at that time. And I don't even know if I had my EIN at the time. It was just like it was bad. It was bad. It was premature. And I know I just didn't go about the 5 tips that I have here back then. So certainly consider getting that business bank account established with them. By doing so, again, you are just essentially letting them not only see that you have a actual business, because to get that business account up and running, you have to have an EIN and whatnot. So you're already kind of knocking out some of those other steps that I recommended. But then 2, you're actually letting them see that you have income coming in from your business. And this is important because they don't want to just give anyone a credit card. They want to make sure that this business actually is generating money. It actually has a little cash flow. And, by establishing that savings account and or checking account under your business, again, you're building that relationship. First, you build the personal relationship. Now you are building that business relationship. And then on top of that, you're letting them see that you actually have income coming in. You don't have to make six figures. You don't have to make seven figures. You can be someone who's part of the gig economy. My other channel, I really focus heavily on Fiverr and more specifically TaskRabbit. I've been slacking on Fiverr. More specifically TaskRabbit, in which it's a gig economy. It's a gig app, but you can make solid money and there can be consistent cash flow. And that's the type of stuff that a business or a bank, I should say, like Chase wants to see. They just ultimately want to know that this is a legit business that has money coming in. My tip number 4 is to focus on your personal credit score. And ultimately, to my understanding, at the minimum, to be able to be eligible, be approved for the Chase Inc. business credit card, my understanding is that you need a 670 or 680. I'm hearing, my research is showing me different conflicting scores, 670 and 680. But what I say is, if you can get up in the 700s, that's best. I mean, if you're over 720, good. 750, you're definitely in the clear. I'm pretty sure even 720s, you should be in the clear. But ultimately, try to aim for 700. If you can get up to 700 or above, I don't think there should be any issues. But like I was saying, at the minimum, it looks like either 670 or 680 is kind of the lowest point where I would think about applying, because of course we don't want too many things showing up on our credit, report and whatnot as well. So, go and do your annual credit report, see where your credit score is at, and that will give you a better idea as to your chances of getting approved for this credit card. Now, the last tip I'm going to share with you guys is kind of one that I think oftentimes people share first, which is to focus on and build your business credit. And, it starts with like trade lines and things of the sort. I haven't really made much content on this channel talking about business trade lines and whatnot. So I think I will start to do that more. For me personally, my personal credit score was kind of sufficient enough, and them seeing I had an established business with money coming in was kind of enough for them to say, we'll approve this company, this business credit card application. I didn't really have business credit established under the business that got approved for my business credit card. So, I had been focused on trade lines and business credit with my DBA and whatnot, but then it kind of started not to really make as much sense, being that it's still so heavily tied to my personal credit and whatnot. If you have a DBA, a sole proprietorship. So, I kind of stopped focusing on that and more so on my business. But even from this standpoint, like I said, I didn't really jump into all those same trade lines and whatnot that I had with my DBA. Instead, it really started with these steps that I'm sharing with you guys, building that relationship with them on a one-on-one basis, then getting my business checking account, business savings account, and letting them see there's money there, there's money coming in, cash flow. And that ultimately, again, made it easier for me to then say, hey, I would love a business credit card now that they can see I'm established with them. We have a relationship. I got my foot in the door already. Now, I'm just kicking that door down, and what are they going to say? No? Like, I mean, they could, but they already know if they do, I'm going to take all my money out and I'm closing down my checking and savings account. So it kind of puts them in a situation where they're like, well, we don't want to lose this individual and the money that they have with us. They see there's money there. They see there's money coming in. It might not be a fortune. It might not be $1 trillion, but it's enough where they're like, that's more than what we would have if he wasn't here. So from that standpoint, I think it really does help you with being, I don't want to say the saying that you got the ball on your side, you got control and the ball's on your side of the court, but you kind of do, you kind of got one up on them where you're like, hey, if you want to continue to see this money in here that you are basically lending out to other people, because I'm just letting it sit there in that savings, it's my business kind of emergency fund type of thing. Well, you are going to approve my application. And so, I think, like I said, a lot of times people would start with the business credit. For me, that was like something I really didn't work towards and hard on. It was like, let me focus on my personal credit so much. Like first, I built that up to 750 plus, and that really makes it easier where you can then go and apply for credit cards where I get it. People like, oh, I don't want the personal guarantee. You pretty much most of the time that's going to be the case anyway. And plus like a bank like Chase, I mean, they report to everyone. So it's like you want to be in with the bank like this, and getting in sooner than later is definitely best too, because then again it helps you with being able to build that relationship, being able to when they come out with a new card, they got the new their new ink card version coming out soon, or basically I think it just rolled out, but it's not like out available to everyone. I'm already kind of established with them, and it's going to make it easier for me to get approved for that next card. Now, could be all talk, maybe I won't. We'll see. I'll definitely try to document that journey as well and share it with you guys. So, I hope this video was helpful for you. If so, definitely smash that thumbs up button. I do appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys appreciate this video and, the content that I continue to put out on this channel, trying to just help share with you not only my credit building journey, but some of the tips and tricks that I think would be beneficial for you as you move forward with your journey of building your personal and business credit as well. So my friends, I'm going to wrap it up there, but much appreciation for watching. But you already know what it is. I got to keep it moving, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.